everybody. I've just realised I haven't put my phone on mute. So bear with, because otherwise you're going to be getting lots of ding-dongs. Lots of ding-dongs during the live. I just hope I don't mess things up. How are you all? How are you all coping? It's a bit too hot, isn't it? It really is. I mean, we like sunshine, but come on. Right, turn off. There we go. There we are. Right. I should have lifted my phone up a bit more, but anyway, we're in a good position, I think. So, first in the house tonight is Gemma. Hello, Gemma. How are you, Gemma? How are you doing? How are you doing, Linda and Michelle? Linda's in the house. Michelle, hello, Heather. How are you? So hot, I'm melting. Now, you must let me know. I have got a fan on behind me. I've got a fan on underneath my laptop to keep it cool, and I've got a fan to my right. I do apologise if it's affecting the sound, so you must let me know if it's giving interference. I don't know what will happen if it gets interference, because I'm just going to melt. Linda says, I've been in the pool in the garden with daughter and granddaughter. It's been fab. Oh, you can't hear them. My fan's brilliant. That's a bonus. Do you know what, Linda? I had a phone call from my son and daughter-in-law about an hour ago, and he said he popped in to see us earlier on, and on the way home he popped to Asda, got a pool for a £5, got the kids slide because they're only 3 and 1, and they're having the best fun ever going down the slide. Michelle says all sounds good on YouTube. Brilliant. Right, so I'm trying to build up getting back into doing the weekly tutorials, because I do miss you all, and I have had feedback to say, when are you coming back on? And I do get it. It's just a little bit busy, but we'll do what we can. Gemma says, hot. I work in a primary school. We've been camping. We have been camping in any aircon rooms we can find. I bet. I take my hat off to you. You've still carried on. A lot of schools haven't, have they? It's all about making memories. It is. Oh, and they're so gorgeous, aren't they? Grandchildren. I just love them. Anyway, I'm waffling. Do you want to see what we're going to make tonight? I love this. I really love this weave. Okay, so I rather like that. I think you can glam it up, tone it down, whatever you like. Now, because bead weaving takes a bit of time, I have to confess, I've got this out of 1 strand. So let's just turn it around and show you the other side. I've been very lazy as well. I haven't actually put the clasp on this one yet. So these are crystal rondelles, and then on the top, I've just embellished it with diamond shaped with seed beads, and a little accent in the middle as well. Now, would you believe this is the very same weave with Chinese glass beads? There you go, have a closer look. And so what I'm going to do, we've got all the bundles available in my Facebook group. A lot of them, so I've got this bundle for sale. I've got this bundle for sale, so you can buy all the materials that's in the bundle. Super reasonable. You just need to add your thread to go with it, or if you want consistent chain, I've got extended chains which you can attach with sort of eye pins in between. So let's go on the overhead. So before we get stuck in, I am just going to show you, where are we? This is like being back on Jewellery Maker again, where it's like, you're not quite central. Right, where are you? There you are. Okay, so I've made this. Hello, lovely Sue. I've made this so that it curves around the neck. This you keep the same either side, the same weave. This one is different on the inside than it is on the outside because you need the flow. Okay, so in the Facebook group, you have got these. They're like a burgundy. They're really gorgeous. So this are these, which you can see on the back. Okay, so if you flip it over, you've got 5 grams of your Mayuki AB Gold seed beads on top. And I've embellished it with these. Now, if you're happy to add chain, you can get away with 1 strand of each. Okay, so that's that one. There's a few left. I think there's literally only 2 kits left. They've gone like hotcakes. For the bracelet, hello Trisha, lovely to have you join. Right, for the bracelet, we've got these Chinese glass pearls. Now, I'm not going to lie, don't expect perfection with them. They're okay, but they're not like your Swarovski, your Czech ones. You know, you've got a few little occasional indents in them. But when you do this weave, honestly, you can't tell. But it's just to give you the heads up on that. So I topped it with that, and then I used Czech Blue Iris for the weave. So that's what I got from that one. So I'm selling off loads and loads of the stock. So do make sure you pop over there. I'll share the links a little bit later on. Now, if you have got this month's bead box, firstly, I hope you love it. Secondly, this weave you can use for so many of your items in the box. You've got 6mm gemstones, you've got 4mm gemstones, which you can use on the top. You've got crystal rondelles. And in fact, I might do it to show you on our live on Monday. So anyway, without any further ado, should we get stuck in? Right. Hello, Carol. Right, just repositioning that. So let's keep that. Got my nice new bead board from Jewellery Maker as well. Let's keep that in the corner. Okay, so I've got size 10 beading needle. Now in some of the bundles I've even popped in a couple of size 10 beading needles. So size 10 beading needle, I've used my Yuki thread. I would suggest that if you can, use 3 to 4 meters, otherwise you might need to add some in. I've used my own beeswax that I got from a nearby local company and just run it along the thread just to make it a little bit easier to work with, prevents fraying and make sure that it doesn't come undone. So that's the thread I've used, Mayuki. You can also use, I think I've just got one of these cream Nymos left. So I'm going to use something that's available in the group, which are these 6mm sort of sea green beads with, just trying to think what these are called now. Anyway, they're in a bundle and I absolutely love them. So these are, I think, 3mm, I think. But to be honest, the fab thing about this pattern is it's so versatile. You can use bicones, you can use rounds, you can use rondelles, and you can use whatever size you like. Okay, so experiment. And don't forget, we're doing our prize draw on Monday. So do make sure that you share your makes in the beaders group. So the first one, if we just flip this over, the first one, we start with 4. So I'm going to add 1, 2, 3, 4. And I thread that. So I'm going to leave a tail. Oops, that's dropped off. Let me thread that back on. I'm going to leave a tail of about 6 inches, which gives you enough space to add on the end part. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back up the first one. No, hang on a minute. Do you know what? I've not even done it right. Bear with. Have I? No, I have. Do you know what? I have done so many weaves lately that I'm getting myself in a little pickle. So we're going to go back up through the first bead, all the way back round again. Whoops. So you form a circle, okay? And then where the two ends meet, we're going to tie a knot. So we're going to tie an overhand knot, and then let's tie another one as well, just to keep it fully in, fully secure. Pop your needle through the next one, because it's always a good idea to work away from the knot. Now I'm really hoping that I can remember what to do. Isn't that terrible? So you might need to fiddle around a bit with the combination in the middle, depending on what size your bead combos are. So I'm going to try with the 3 seed beads, one of the smaller rondelles, followed by another 3 seed beads. Okay. Now that is coming out from the bottom right of that bead. So we're going to actually go at a diagonal. So we're going to actually come in from the top left. So left to right. I'll try and keep it in the same way so that it's easier to see the flow. Okay, we're going to pull that. So that's on your diagonal. See that okay? Now, what we're going to do is we're going to share that middle bead. So we're going to add 1, 2, 3 seed beads, but we're going to go through that crystal bead. So we're going to share that crystal bead. So you're going from the top right corner, and you're going to go through from left to right. So you add 3, and then you're going to go from left to right. I'm going to get in a little bit closer. Got a few more of you joining us. Hello, Katrina. I'm not sure if I said hello to Carol, so I'll say hello to Carol again, just in case. Hello, Sally. Lovely to have you all join. Oh, I do love that. That's so delicate. You can adapt these for earrings as well. Right. Where are you? So let's turn, that's the back. That is the front. So what we're going to do now is we're going to position our needle, reposition, which just means we're going to move it, and we're going to pop it through that next one in the row. Like so. Now, what we're going to do next is we're going to add 3 more. So we're working in groups of 4, but you count the first bead as the one you've already made in the previous row. So this is number 1, and we're adding 1, 2, and 3. So if you count this one from the previous row, that's number 1, 2, 3, 4, and you want to make a circle. So what you do is you go through the other side, thread coming out from the top, thread anchoring at the bottom. Now what I'd suggest you do is what we call reinforce, which is to go back round again, because otherwise you're going to find that you don't have a very tight tension on it. So let's just go back around that. Now it doesn't really matter where you come out to do your diamond shape. The main thing is that you remember that you work diagonally with them. Hello, Annette. So we've got 1, 2, 3. One of your rondelles, the mini rondelles, 1, 2, 3. So we're coming out from the top right, which means we're going to come in from left to right on the bottom. Left to right. I do love this colour combo. Sage green, that's it. I couldn't think of the word. And then we're going to add 3. 1, 2, 3. We're going to go up through the bead, so you share the middle bead. Pull that tight, and then you're going to add 1, 2, 3. So it's a real repetition, and then what you're going to do is you're going to go in from left to right. So let me know, pop me a note in the comments. Are you following this okay? Any thoughts about what you're going to make? Any thoughts about anything in the bead box? By the way, your bead box, you can start sharing your makes now, because I think it can safely say, I'm hoping that everybody's got their box by now. So isn't that pretty? So that's just 2 stations. Hello, Jan. Hello, Lucy. Welcome, Lucy. I think Lucy's new to watching the lives. It's lovely to have you join. We're a very friendly group. Just let us know a little bit about yourself, how you found us, and what sort of beading you like, or if you're new. So what we're going to do is we're going to add another group. So we're going to count that as 1, 2, 3, 4. Jan said, I'll rewatch tomorrow. I'm melting and my brain has just said enough for today. I totally get that, Jan. So we're going to anchor that down, and then we're going to reinforce. Oh, you mean you'll make tomorrow? Oh, bless you. It just slows everything down, doesn't it, this weather? I mean, it is beautiful, but come on, you know, just a little bit cooler would be nice. But do let me know, have a look at your bead box. Anybody that's coming in a little bit later on, is just to say, have a sit through your bead box. You can use the contents of your bead box, pretty much most or all of the beads you can use for this weave. And you can actually, like I've done, work in chain as well. Michelle says, are the seed beads you're working with just silver lined crystal, or are they frosted? I'm pretty sure they are frosted. I've got a code which is ILBD36. So they're Mayuki, but you can use size 10s as well. Katrina says, very pretty, but I may have to leave early, so what we'll watch on catch up. No problem at all. And it's just making sure you go in from the same angle with your rondelle in the middle. Otherwise, as I discovered, they are faced the wrong direction. 1, 2, 3. There you go. Now, if you were doing the bracelet, you would continue this all the way along. With the necklace, what you have to do is you need to pinch it in at the top so that it creates a curve. So that we've actually, if you look at this, we've added a bead at the top in between, but not at the bottom. So that's how we've gotten our curve in there. So we just do a little bit more. Jan says she loves working with this sort of beadwork. Oh, well, that's nice to know. Do sort of let me know, because, you know, I love all sorts. The only thing that I find more of a challenge is wire work, because I find it's not kind on your nails, and as you get older it can be a little bit more challenging on the old fingers. I can do it and I like it, but it's not something I can do all the time. Lucy says, I'm a baker in a cafe in the Peak District. Very warm. First saw you on JM, quite a beginner to beading. Oh, well, that's lovely, Lucy. Not so lovely that you're working in a baker, that you're a baker in a cafe in this weather. How are you doing? You must be, oh, you must be flagging. But you're in a beautiful, beautiful part of the country, aren't you? And lovely that you're new to beading. Most of the stuff I do, I try and break it down so it's workable for everybody. I think it's just a case of what works for you, what you fancy doing. But because I'm a real jewellery butterfly, hopefully you'll get a good selection of different things. Katrina says she's got her bead box now and it's beautiful. Huge thanks. Melting here in North London. Oh, I'm so pleased you got your bead box and that you're happy with it. Now, I'm sure I can do a little spoiler alert now that you've all got it. Now, for those of you that are new, basically this is the second month running now, I do a monthly bead box, which is £20. Well, it's £23.85 with the tracked packing, track parcel. And sorry, brain in gear, bear with. So in there is gemstones, glass bead strands, findings, and there's normally more than £40 worth of products in there for your money as well. So this month, spoiler alert, we have amethyst. We've got a sprinkle of freshwater pearls in teardrops, just two. But we've got amethyst in 6mm and amethyst in 4mm, and I actually thought, wouldn't this be beautiful? Because this is 6mm. The 4mm will stand just a little bit more pronounced. You might need 2 rather than 3 seed beads, but I'm thinking I would rather like to do that. And also the mixed colour crystal rondelles. There's also some smaller rondelles that will work really well as well. Now, I have got a couple of bead boxes left. I've had a few more people come in and just buy one-offs. You can buy one-offs if you want to. If you don't want to commit to a subscription, it's just subscribers. I'm going wrong. Subscribers get priority, obviously, and if there's any left, then I can obviously open them out. So I'll show you the QR code afterwards. So maybe you loved it so much you want to buy a second box, or you'd like a little mystery bead box. But myself, Francis and Linda are going to go live on Monday. Hopefully we'll have a little guest from the beading group on as well. And we're going to give you some inspiration, whether or not you bought the bead box, I'm sure you'll still find it inspiring, and you can enter the giveaway through posting any of your mates, it doesn't have to be from the bead box, in our Beaders group, Beaders of Beads by Virtual. Right, I'm just going to do one more, and then I'm going to show you how it would differ with the necklace to the bracelet. 1, 2, 3. Jan is saying that she loves wirework and it looks so pretty. Wedding jewellery. It'd be lovely wedding or prom jewellery, wouldn't it? Or holiday jewellery with the gorgeous sea greens. But is anybody thinking, actually, I thought it was a bit more complicated than that? I think I can manage that. Like I say, do try different combinations, try 4 mil, try different shapes. You just get a different look each time. Okay, so there we go. That's how you carry on. Now we're going to do a little bit of let's pretend. Okay. Now I haven't really got any chain in stock at the moment. Not huge amounts of chain at all, but in some of these in this particular bundle, I've actually got extender chains in there. So they're about 2 inches long. So I'm kind of thinking what you could do with these is actually use them as your chain link at the end. Let's just show you the attachment. So I think what I've done is I've done about 8 inches of weave, and then I've done 4 inches either side of chain. So I thought if you use the extender chain, then you could maybe put a wire wrap loop or an eye pin in between the links. So what I'm going to show you now is we'll pretend that we're doing a necklace. So we're going to add 1, 2, 3, go through your chain, add 1, 2, 3, and go through the other side. Oops, preferably not sewing my fingers in with it. And then we're going to what we call reinforce. I'd suggest you go through around 3 times if your needle will allow. You might even need a few more seed beads just to cover the end bead. But I'd recommend that you do that so that you've actually got more strength holding on to it there. So we're going to go through the top one. Okay. Jan says, I can definitely manage this with your instruction. Thank you. I'm really pleased about that. That's great. And Heather said, I always get tangled up in thread. Heather, you're not alone. You are really not alone. I'm sure everybody else can vouch for that. So I'm going to put one of your smaller crystals in between. So I'm just going to go down through the top. So this is literally, if you're doing a necklace, you need curve in the necklace. You can't have it stagnant like your bracelet because it just won't flow. It won't sit properly around your neckline. If you were doing the bracelet, you could either edge both sides with the bead or you can just leave it empty. Do you know what? You could even do if you didn't want to do too much, you know, maybe you're quite new to it or you don't have that much time, you could always have that as a little, if you did it both sides, you could have that as a little panel on a bracelet with a chain fastening. That'd be so nice, wouldn't it? Right, so we've done that. You don't add one at the end. So we're going to add chain the other end. But can you see how that actually, where are we? Let's get that out of the way. Can you see how that pulls it in at the top and curves? So that's how you want it. And then the other end, we would add more chain, 6 beads and chain. Okay, now because we may have some of you that haven't done your bead weaving before, I'm going to show you how to tie off as well. Just going to do a few more things. Right, okay. So when you see instructions and it says follow your way round your thread path again, okay, I'm going to tie that against that and trim that off now. Lucy is saying, what length of thread do you start with? If you can, Lucy, I would suggest that you start with 2 to 3 meters. Okay, I know it sounds horrendous. If you can't, I'm going to just tell you how to tie in. Now, you tie off the same way you tie in new thread. So what you do is you push your needle in between beads and you tie a knot, and you do that in 3 different places. Now, if you were adding a new thread in, obviously you tie in the tail end, but you'd work it. So say your thread was here, you'd start back here, you'd tie in some knots, and then eventually you'd bring your thread up to the same point. Now, my top tip would be tie in your new thread before you tie off your old, because from one that's made lots of mistakes on that, you forget where you are, especially with peyote. So that's how you tie off. Okay, so let's just cut that off. Always tie off at least 2 to 3 different places. It's nice with the curve, isn't it? Do you know what, that actually, just that little bit, the other thing that I'm thinking with the amethyst, if you've got your bead box, is why not do different, you could always do different sort of stations, couldn't you? Is you could always maybe have an eye pin and maybe have a few, like 3 different groups, so you've got movement in it. That's just a thought. Very effective with the curve. Katrina says, this is very pretty, we'll have to try it. I've got to get myself organised, as off to Mum's near Chester tomorrow's at 85th birthday on Sunday. Yay. Happy birthday to your mum. Fantastic. Now, I'm just going to show you something else. This is just food for thought. Now, if you want to make the most of your beads, you've got some really, maybe you've got some precious gemstones. You don't want to sort of do a whole weave. Maybe you haven't got the time, or maybe you don't like the full effect of the necklace. So that was it with crystal rondelles. Let's just turn it over so that you can see. I think I've got about 2 of those bundles available. So my thoughts are, actually, let's pop one. I'm just going to do an eye pin. Now, an eye pin is basically got a loop one end and you form a loop the other end. So I'm going to turn it at a right angle, cut, so we've got about 1 centimetre above the bead. Turn it using your round nose pliers, And then I'm thinking you can add some interest. So if you're using the extender chains, I'm just attaching one that side, and then I'm going to get another extender chain, just to say as well, this bundle is in the group if there's any left. I'm not sure because things have been going quite quickly. And then add another chain the other side. Where are we? Let's grab those jump rings. We'll have a closer look in a minute. Oh gosh, I haven't managed to get yet another jump ring out. So that's our woven section, and then that can be a necklace section. You don't even have to do, let's just go back a bit. You don't have to do it. Whoops, where are you? You don't have to do it as long as this if you don't want to, because it does take time. That is sometimes is something that puts people off bead weaving. Personally, I love it. So you haven't got such a curve on that one, but you would have it obviously if it was longer. But it's just another sort of design feature. Say if you've got your amethyst in your box, is you don't want to use up too much of it. Is this uses what, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15 round beads, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of the smaller beads. So obviously with this, I've been very lazy. You would just add a clasp on the end. Let's just have another look at the bracelet, shall we? So the bracelet, let's go in a bit closer. Right, they don't even look, that and that and that don't even look like the same weave, do they? I don't think. And I just think it's so versatile. You can try it with pretty much any bead size, any bead shape. I would suggest maybe either using really tiny beads or using your seed beads. So that is what I've used on this one, is I think 2 strands of these blue, 1 strand of these, and 5 grams of your check blue metallic iris. So what I'm just going to do very quickly is just show you where you can find these beads if you're new. Lucy says, thank you. I find it easier to watch demos as I'm dyslexic. Sometimes struggle to read the instructions and get the right meaning, if that makes sense. Absolutely. And we all learn so differently, don't we? I'm very visual as well. I can work okay from a pattern, but things like crochet, I cannot work from a pattern. I need to physically see it. So yeah, absolutely, whatever works best for you. And also, you know, if you've got any questions, just give me a shout. Jan says, is the chain closed link? Yes, it's closed, which a good question, because it would just come through. But that's a great thing to pick up on, because really you do need closed chain to link your thread through. Love the blue. It's beautiful, isn't it? Really lovely. Right, so first of all, I'm just going to share with you the bead box. So if you want to subscribe to the monthly bead box, or you want a little bit more info, You just need to scan that barcode. You can purchase it off of my website, and it comes to your door and it's guaranteed for you every month. Now, if you want to buy a one-off box, I don't think I've actually gotten haven't gotten the link, but I'm just going to play a little VT just to show you about the box. Apologies if you've seen it before, but it's literally about 30 seconds. So I'm just going to put that up. There we go. And what was that one? Not even sure what that one is. I think it might be. I don't know if you can hear me, but this is just showing you what's in the Facebook group. Can you actually hear me talking over that or not? And this is the barcode to access the Facebook group, where you can buy the materials from to make the demo. Obviously, if you're watching on replay a few months after, then it's very doubtful it's going to be available still. Linda says, why does my son always ring when I'm watching a live? How rude. Oh, it was quite loud, was it? Oh, well, I was loud or the music was loud. Oh, dear. Right. So has anybody got any questions at all? Or are you all flagging and ready to put your feet up or feet in a bowl? Oh, wouldn't it be lovely just to have a little swimming pool, just to dip your toes and a nice refreshing drink on that note. The music was loud, was it? Oh, it made you jump. Oh my goodness. I'll have to make sure that I actually turn it down next time on the recording. Oh, well, it woke you up, didn't it? Woke you all up. Anyway, I do hope you enjoyed that. You can watch Linda, myself, Linda, Francis in our live on Monday. So I'll be putting up the links on Facebook and YouTube so you can connect with us. It'll be a really fun night. We always have a bit of a giggle, don't we? And we'll be sharing some inspiration from you, from the bead boxes. Hopefully, even if you haven't got the bead boxes, it will give you some inspiration. And we've got a giveaway. So do start sharing your makes again in the Beaders of Beads by Virtue group. Jan said, I've got a cold flannel around my neck. Oh, sounds perfect. Heather said she loved her bead box. Oh, I'm so pleased. It does take me quite a while to get them just how I want them before I press order for the beads to come in. Great, thanks. Can't wait to get making. Lovely, Lucy. Do join us in our Beaders of Beads by Virtue group, Lucy, where we have our chat and sort of social aspect. Sue says it's raining. Oh my goodness. So Linda's off for a cold shower. Take care, everybody. I will see you very, very soon. Bye.